Well, hi everyone. I'm really happy to be at Futures this year. I've seen so many new faces, and I'm so pleased to be here and to meet some new people and reconnect with people I already knew. I learned that the mascot of Cure Duchenne's name is Exxon, and I've been hearing a lot about Exxon skipping, but he doesn't have legs, so I think he'll just probably float, so I don't think he'll be skipping. Terrible joke aside, I'm going to talk a little bit about my story and what it is I do and what I've done and will continue to do in embracing my future. So I'm an author. I'm a rising college senior. I just finished up my junior year. I'm studying film and new media studies at Wheaton College, Massachusetts. I've published 2 children's books. The first one, One Wants to Be a Letter, is about embracing uniqueness. And The Dilly Dally Parrot is about time management and helping kids with that. And I live by the motto, don't live the diagnosis, live the life, which is so important, and I'm going to get a little bit more into that. And together with my family, we helped found the For Jake's Sake Charitable Foundation, helping families living with Duchenne, making their homes and lives more accessible. So, as Doc Brown says on there, I've always dreamed of seeing the future as well, but we can't really see what the future looks like. We can only envision it and plan for it, like what Hawken was saying. But in order to look to the future, we have to look a little bit to the past. So that's what I'm going to do right now and talk a little bit about my journey. So I was diagnosed with Duchenne at 8 years old, and if you know anything about Duchenne, that is a little bit of a late diagnosis. And the diagnosis at the time gave me a sense of relief because at the time when I could walk, I ran a lot slower than the other kids. And I was wondering, this has to be something wrong with me. How can I fix this? What can I do differently? But then the diagnosis told me that, no, it's not your fault. And, that this, that it's harder to do these things. And so I was in a wheelchair by age 12, and I have been since. And then Googling Duchenne, which I wouldn't recommend doing that. And the CEO of Google, I highly doubt that they're listening, but please update your search results. They are so outdated. Please, please. And that sort of leads a little bit into my journey to acceptance, which was a long journey. I think for any of us, it's a hard journey accepting who we are, but I think especially for us, and I'm sure Ryan and Hawken can attest to that. And I can't say that every day is easy because it's not. I like to be real, and sometimes being real means being negative. And sometimes there are negative days. But, I like to live every day the best I can and, try to go into every day with a positive attitude, which is hard to do sometimes, and it's much easier said than done. But it's what I really try to do when I wake up in the morning is say, how can I make today even better than yesterday? A little bit about my children's books. I've published 2 of them. One Wants to Be a Letter is about the number 1 who feels left out about all of his friends being letters and wants to be just like them. And there's a little bit of foreshadowing in that because I feel the same way about me wanting to be like my able-bodied friends. But the journey to acceptance is accepting the fact that we are different and to embrace our uniqueness and what makes us different. And so I've read both of my children's books to kids, which has been so fun, one of the best parts of this journey. And the kids have just been so adorable and asked me the most adorable questions. So it's been a really fun experience. And then speaking of the younger generation, my nephew also has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. His name's Tyler, and he is just the sweetest, most hyperactive kid ever. I haven't really had a full-on conversation with him about Duchenne, but I most definitely will be in the future as he gets older and as he understands the disease and what it might entail. Then starting the LLC, to go back a little bit, that is the company that I've been writing my children's books through, and I do want to transition it someday into a film-based company, since that's more what I'd like to go into as a career. And then speaking of film, I've actually been in the process of writing a series that I'd love to pitch someday to Netflix or HBO Max, and I'm really excited about it. The first episode is already finished, and I love writing because it allows me to take my experiences that I've dealt with and put that into characters. When I'm really struggling sometimes, writing is such a big outlet for me, and that's something I want to say to all of you living with Duchenne, is that try and find an outlet to be able to take your lived experiences and make something awesome out of it, and make something that you can celebrate and you can share with people. Takeaways for parents. The biggest thing I'm going to say is let them spread their wings, man, which is a quote from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, if anyone's ever seen that. But it's true. I think it's really important to let your kids blossom and go out. And, you know, like Hakan was saying, college is a really good thing, but you don't necessarily have to go to college because it's not for everyone. And, you know, that system doesn't work for all people. So it's really important to me, you know, going to college, I've been, you know, so much more social, and it's been just such a great experience for me to just, you know, leave the nest and be able to just sort of find myself and find my people and just really start living my life the way I want to on my own terms. So that's something that's really important to me. And that sort of gets into some takeaways for the next generation. I would just say to you guys that us with Duchenne are such resilient people, and you can do anything that you set your mind to, as long as you find creative ways to adapt. And even if something doesn't work, you should still try. Try everything and see what works, and you can do it. I did it. I'm living proof that it's possible. It's all possible. I did it, and you can too. So that's how I embrace my future. Don't live the diagnosis, live the life. I have all these pictures of some of the things I've done and some of the things I will do, and I'm just so proud of the life I've lived so far, and I can't wait to continue embracing the future. And it's gonna be a really, really long future because I have a lot of stuff to do, and I'm gonna do them.
And okay, so Hakan, I don't know where your parents are. I'm sure they were doing the same thing. But if you guys could see from here, we have these really bright lights that are shining in our eyes. It is nothing compared to Jake's parents that are sitting in the front. And like I was watching them, and the light coming off of them is far superior to any of these. So I think they're really proud of you. They really do.